Karen, K-E-R-R-I-N, Karen McAvoy on Century Flag number 1. 2.90 on TAB, 13 for Chevette. Number 3 is Joe at 4.20. 4 Street Fight at 7.30. Now, we've spoken to Dwayne Dunn. He likes Joe. He thinks the horse will run very well today. The Country Cup form is strong. Street Fight, Mick Serchi thinks it has a good chance as well. And also Ken Swenny thought Century Flag was his best hope, and he's had a winner already. So they look the top 3 here. $14 Our Communications number 5. 6 Dusting at 26. 7 Max Rock 64. Number 8 Pragong at 9.50. Northern Accord 38. Miners Time 69. Spanish Arms Not Without a Hope number 11 at $12. Authentic Romance 29. Brian went 1 to beat 3 and 2 here. In the 5th event, the Mildura Grand Hotel Resort Flying Handicap, and the man who's a stalwart in Mildura and the man behind the Mildura Grand Hotel Resort is none other than Don Carazza. Don, thanks for joining us once again.
How are you this morning? Are you feeling well?
This afternoon it is, Don, and I'm feeling very well indeed.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's nice to see you back again, and I hope you're having a wonderful time.
Now, I'm a bit worried you put me in the honeymoon suite.
Well, I thought you were bringing your girlfriend up with you, but anyway, the honeymoon suite will going to give you a lot of pleasure.
Fantastic resort, and the rooms are incredible, and I see that you're still upgrading as well.
Well, we continue on upgrading the Grand. I mean, we hope that one day we'll have standard rooms so that everybody will have the same facilities.
Yeah. Tell us about the whole complex.
Well, the Grand has been operating for 107 years. It's almost an institution to Mildura. Everybody refers Mildura to the Grand Hotel, and the Grand Hotel has been so much part of history, so much part of the inauguration of the city of Mildura. And of course, we are trying to keep some of the old tradition of the Grand, but also we try to upgrade some of the facilities with modern facilities so that the comforts of today's living, it's part of that. And I think all our visitors, I'm sure they will enjoy the Grand, and I'm sure that we try to do the best possible, especially in the food area, to make sure that we keep up with the city sleekers. And that's really what we're all about.
You have a Tabaret, and with the advent of hotels now getting pokie machines, that must be pleasing news for you.
Well, it is a pleasing news. I'm very fortunate to be associated with Tabaret, and we're working together well, and hopefully we can keep on growing similar to what they're planning for Victoria in the future.
One thing you do also have is some fantastic restaurants.
Well, our restaurants really are the main key to the success of the hotel. I mean, food today is a very important part of leisure. It's very much important part of any hotel, because without food, the beer drinkers are getting a few and few every day, and of course we've got to stick to food.
Now, Mildura is a go-ahead place. Every time we come here, we see development all over the city.
Certainly, we see a great fusion potentially with Mildura, and Mildura has a lot of opportunity, not only in viticulture, agriculture, but also in tourism. One of the most important thing about Mildura is that it's still at its natural beauty, and that hasn't been commercialised, and it hasn't been bastardised by commercialism. So everybody that comes here, they still see the natural beauty of the area.
Well, thanks very much for having us once again. It's a beautiful place to stay.
And before I go, I just want to congratulate Sam Sullivan and Stuart and their committee for the wonderful job they've done for this special meeting, and I'm sure that's going to grow into a big event year after year.
Good on you, Don. Thank you. Don Carazza there, Nick. And, of course, Don, we didn't get a chance to talk on this occasion. We did speak briefly last year, but Don, of course, was the man who raced what some people say is the greatest pacer of all time, Popular Arm.
Well, there you go, eh? He was the greatest pacer of all time, Popular Arm. And nice to see Don there, and it's obviously got a lovely establishment there at Mildura. All right.
Whoops, a couple of them made a dive there. This is the Grand Hotel flying. Spanish Arms shifting around. Oh, going up in the air was Northern Accord at the start. It and Street Fighter both missed it. Joe away quickly with Max Rocket over on the outside. Spanish Arms and with Our Communications. Century Flag and Chevette out deep going forward from Pre-Gong behind those Authentic Romance as they settle dusting up running third over on the outside. Street Fight back with Miners Time, and last of all it's Northern Accord heading towards the 700 metre mark, and the leader was Joe, joined over on the outside by one who's completely obscured here at Spanish Arms, a length and a half to Century Flag, who's losing ground hard ridden at the moment. Shavit on the inside dusting. They're going quickly to the Street Fight. Then comes Max Rock, behind it Pre-Gong. Over on the outside, Our Communications. Back behind it Minus Time. Authentic Romance in the straight and Northern Accord. Joe and Spanish Arms. Spanish Arms takes the lead. Dusting Century Flag is under the whip, deeper out Shavit. And down the outside comes Our Communications. Joe and Spanish Arms with Dusting. Getting up on the inside of them all is Pre-Gong. Pre-Gong on the inside. Wide out is Our Communications and Dusting in the centre. And latest Street Fight. Our Communications out deep has got in. Our Communications has beaten Street Fight. Oh, what a run it after missing the start. Third in over on the inside of those, maybe Dusting. Pre-Gong was there, behind them Joe, and then came Spanish Arms, Century Flag, Minus Time, Shavit. Back behind it, Authentic Romance, one of the last in with Max Rock. It came from everywhere across the track. And Our Communications, you'll find, will get in here. Who normally, well, I've seen it lead, but today was ridden behind. Ron Burgess sitting back after it began okay, got back to worse than midfield and has come down the centre of the track with a very, very strong run. But what a performance by Street Fight, who missed the start when Northern Accord reared in the stall next to it. And I'd say that was the reason why Street Fight was slowly out. And yet it's gone down narrowly after missing the start. And Dusting is over on the inside. But you'll find Our Communications, I think it was won here by Esperanto out of Luskin Lace. RH and Mrs. MJ Betts, trained by Briga Fleedner here at Mildura and ridden by Ronald Burgess. Our Street Fight is by Jukebox out of Anita Gay, Mick Serkey and Stephen Vella. And Dusting by Magic River out of My Reason, Bevan Olsen and Dean Yendall. I think that's how they'll be. Toad seems to think so. They've got the numbers up already. And it is a photo here in a time of 1:05.9. 1:05.9. The record 1:03.4 held by horse who was trained by David Hayes in Kennedy. 1:59. It wasn't in his care when it broke the record here, but prior to being sold, it I think it was in the Hayes stable. Now, if these numbers are correct, it's going to be 1740 and 470 for Our Communications. Street Fight 250 and 450 will be the dividend for number 6, Dusting. But as I say, nothing official as yet, and here they come now. Yes, Ray? Yep. 5, 4 and 6. Hit a short half. Thank you, mate. Top. Yep, thank you. Those numbers official. Numbers are official now on the event of 5, 4 and 6. 5, 4 and 6 with a performance and a half there by Street Fight. 5, 4 and 6. 1740 and 470 for the winner. Our Communications. $2.50 Street Fight and $4.50 for Dusting. 1740, 470, 250 and 450. Quinella pays $57.20. 57.20. The exacta $118.80. 118.80. The trifecta $3,478.90. 34.78.90. And the double on 7 and 5 $94.20. 94.20 for the race to race double. Okay, the next event, race number 6, is the Sunraysia Class 3. Take out 1 Backwash, 7 Torbay, 17 Red Samur, Karen McAvoy on 16. The race time to go at 3:05.
Thanks, Brian. Now, race 5 at Kilmore. Number 1 is Astute, showing at 25.
And clearly the favourite. $7.20 for number 7, Silk Wave. And around the $8.50 mark for 2 Dynamic Poplar and 9 Our Equal Opportunity. The line's starting to take shape.
My first ride on this horse, and his form's not too bad, and I just, got a bit of weight, but hopefully he's better than him.
Are you doing a lot of riding for Ken?
No, not a lot. No, just now and again. He's got his stable apprentice, Jared Lawrencine, who rides most of his, and so anything he, just normally rings up if he needs me.
He's a good trainer to ride for, though, with his strike rate at the moment. It's incredible.
Well, yeah, I might have to start ringing him up this week just to try and get on a few of the informed horses. So.
You had a big time out there last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. I think you got a treble. Yeah,
I had a treble over it was over the 2 days and won the main 2 races, which was a 2-year-old race and the mile race for open horses, which was good bonus.
City of Adelaide or Port Adelaide Cup or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, your other good ride today is Zoff Off. We've heard plenty about Zoff Off. They say that when the real Zoff-Off comes out to race, he's a very good horse, but when the other Zoff-Off comes out, the punters get dirty.
Yeah, he can be a little bit of a handful. He gets quite upset in the gates, and as long as he can, behave himself and get away to a decent start, and we'll probably be just behind, well, a bit better than midfield, I think, and hopefully we can come home on it, with a strong finish.
You rode the horse at Morfordville in early May when you ran 5th. What was that run like?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. He got there on the corner, and I thought he was going to win, and he's probably condition just not, told on him, but. And last start at Victoria Park, he just didn't handle the real heavy conditions. And I think the track today, he should be able to handle it. It's quite nice. It's just a little bit chopped up going out the straight, and that's the worst part. But he should be able to handle that.
He promised plenty, because I remember at one stage after he ran, or indeed he won the Sires Produce at Morfordville as a younger horse. He ran 3rd in the St Ledger. He looked like being a Melbourne Cup horse at one stage.
Yeah, well, that's what Russell Cameron come up with Russell, and he was telling me all the story about him. And I've ridden him before, and you think, oh yeah, this horse should win next start, but he just proves you wrong all the time. So we probably should say he can't win, and he will. So he'll turn the tables.
But he'll certainly go well today.
I think so. Yeah, I'm hoping so.
All right, well, good luck, and let's hope that you can kick this one home for Ken Sweeney Tizer.
Yeah, that'll be a good start. Thanks.
Thanks, Simon Price there, one of the leading riders from Adelaide. There are plenty of top jockeys here today, Nick.
Well done, thanks Hilton. Good luck, Simon. Good luck to Ken Sweeney. We'll take a break and be right back with more racing around Australia here on Sky. Back in a moment. Moving in quite well now at Mildura for race number 6 on the program, the Sunraysia Resort. It's a Class 3 race over 1,800 metres. There's the scene there with a big screen in use there today, and the punters lining the fence as we take you to Brian Blackmore for the quarter of the 6th, the previous one by Our Communications.
Now, big time Bert coming in. Rider dismounting from Bertie. Previous race going to Our Communications, who... Well, last couple of times I've seen it, it's led or been up with the lead, but today was ridden from behind and stormed home to get up. Trained locally by Brigger Fleedner. His husband, Shane, a former rider. He retired about some 18 months or so ago after riding many, many winners, particularly up in this part of the world. That cloud ceiling is lifted and gone here. The sun's out. It's a very, very pleasant day here now. Typical winter's day on the Sunraysia, as Big Time Bert is led up. Just repeating again that the track tomorrow for Seymour heavy, rail out 3 metres from the 800 to the 300, which is the point of the turn. And at Casterton we have a slow track and the rail true. 9 races at Seymour. Now they've loaded Bertie, he's gone in, and the rest of the runners should come up. Now there's another one riderless here, and which one is it? Looks like Highly Handy. Very good crowd here. They're spread along the rail. Some up near the start. They're probably about 6 and 7 deep watching the start of this race. It's a pretty good barrier for that. The 1,800 metres here, right in front of the main area, main viewing area. As Mozart Smith goes in. But we are dragging the chain here now. So which one are they going to work on next? Looks like Grist for the Mill coming in. It's set. Salamine about to move up. We've just been informed wearing pacifiers. It's now Salamine to come in. It's going to leave out Zabusa and the stablemates Chesco and Authentic Appeal. Now Zabusa goes in. Oh, there's that other one that's still there, riderless. I think it's Highly Handy that is yet to go in. This carnival is growing in stature year by year. The Saturday non-TAB, and of course today, and Stuart Lang, the chief exec, was telling me they have they did advertise package deals for the weekend, and he was overwhelmed by the response, so that's a good sign. Now the last one coming up, Chesco the last one to move in. Chesco in, and we're set for a start now. Race 6. Star Pug throwing the head around. Taser stands up okay. Racing now. They've gone away in a good line. Out deep, Zabusa away quickly near the inside. County Command. Whispering Breeze ridden up with Mozart Smith, Star Pug. Wider out on the track going forward is Highly Handy in the all-white looking for the lead and will get it. Grist for the Mill is centre field. Got bumped there. A lot of checking as they swing out of the straight. Taser is over on the inside. Big Time Bert. Now Salamine dropped out to last. In front of it, Romantic King and Sister Cinderella. They sort themselves out. 1,400 metres to go. And the leader, Highly Handy, a neck in front of County Command. 2 lengths to Star Pug and a half, Whispering Breeze. 1.5, then Chesco over on the outside. 4 deep going forward, Grist for the Mill. The pace is good. Mozart Smith over on the inside of it is Taser. 2 lengths away, then comes Authentic Appeal and Zabusa together from Sister Cinderella. Romantic King, well back, Big Time Bird, and last of all is Salamine. Heading over to the 1,000-metre mark, and the leader is now County Command. In front here, joined by Grist for the Mill, to third, Whispering Breeze. Hard at it on the inside, Highly Handy. 2 lengths further back then comes next on the inside, Star Pug. Then Mozart Smith. Taser is over on the inside as they work off the back. Chesco in front of those now, 700 metres out. Further back then comes Sister Cinderella getting up on the inside from Big Time Bert. Salamine well back. With it comes Romantic King and Zabusa, but they jam up. 500 metres to go. County Command, Grist for the Mill, and another one peeling out 3 deep to have a go. That's Whispering Breeze. Next is Mozart Smith, and behind those runner Star Pug. Then comes Taser working into the clear. Highly Handy drifting back, and further back then is Chesco as they enter the straight. Whispering Breeze is the leader from County Command. Chesco over on the outside. Highly Handy is still there on the fence, whacking away, and now Mozart Smith is joining in, but Chesco took the lead. Mozart Smith over on the outside trying to pick it up from Whispering Breeze. Chesco still in front. On the outside, Mozart Smith is now getting to it. Chesco and Mozart Smith. Chesco just in front. He won. Chesco's done at a nose to Mozart Smith. Tight third, Whispering Breeze and Romantic King getting home late. And County Command with that lot also there. Star Pug, Salamine. On the outside, Zabusa. Next in then was Big Time Bert. Well back then, Sister Cinderella, Highly Handy. Authentic Appeal, Taser, and Grist for the Millers run last. It's a photo here. I think this has just fallen in. And Mozart Smith making a dive, but right on the line. It does appear that if Chesco has just lasted, but there's only an inch in it. The judge calling on the photo, and I've got no idea what's run third. Getting home strongly, Romantic King and Whispering Breeze, I think, were the ones over on the inside. Judge calling on a photo here. It's only going to be a nose between this pair. It does look as if he's just got that stride in, Chesco, over Mozart Smith. Photo called for here on race number 6. Yeah, I think it's just one. I hope for Briga Friedner's sake it has, because she's jumping up and down in front of us here. And it's a good effort by this delightful young lady to have a double at her home track on her Cup Day. Chesco, I think, was formerly trained by John Sadler. I'm pretty certain John had it. It's now found its way to the north of the state. Must enjoy the weather up here. Now, what happened to it at Swan Hill? It lost its rider, I think, in the race won by Backwash. Ran second last at Moonee Valley, 4th of 10 at Echuca before that. And its form has been probably a little bit disappointing since it got up here. So we stand by for this photo on race number 6, Nick, and we'll call you back shortly.
Should be through very shortly, those numbers there. And thank you very much, Brian. We'll have those numbers in a moment. Smith and Whispering Breeze. Now back to the market.
You can see in barrier 1 coming in with Lachlan, Rollover Soph. Weather Watch, Dougal's Dream. See Baron out wide. Second row, Richacha, Kelly's Heroes. Elwood's Nest. And
from Mildura. And Intermusician is the top weight here, showing at $7.20. And Intermusician is at $7.20, right? $15 for Arch of Colours. Then we've got Bowl Juggler at $5.30. That's a quiet tip on track. 11 for Archer Street. Sizzling Sam at $13. $3.50 for number 7, Neen Valley. $10 for 9, Zopoff. Lavender Bird at $31. To number 11 in the Cup race today, $46 set to music. 11, of course, is out. 22 Blood Brother, $37 for Almighty Halo, 36 Silent Flow, and Recommittal at $54. That's for the 7th at Mildura. Now, Brian, he likes 3, 6 and 7 here from Brian Blackmore at Mildura. Now, race 7, number 3, Bold Juggler, Marie Payne will ride. Bernadette will ride Blood Brother. A short time ago, Hilton Donaldson, who is at Mildura today, caught up with Marie Payne.
One of the leading chances in today's Mildura Cup is number 3, Bold Juggler, hailing from Ballarat, prepared by Glenn Thornton, and will be ridden by a Ballarat girl in Marie Payne. Marie, welcome to the Sky Channel microphone. You've ridden Bold Juggler to a placing at the horse's last start. Is he ready for the 2000 now?
Yeah, I think so. He ran over 2002 starts back, and he tugged a little bit in that race. So he brought him back to the mile, and he ran a really good race, and I think he should settle today.
The horse has had a lot of racing on rain-affected tracks. I suppose that goes hand in hand with the weather at Ballarat.
That's right. It won't be a problem for him.
Have you been on this horse many starts?
I think I've ridden him 3 or 4 times. I ran 4th on him at Moonee Valley one day. He was a little bit unlucky, but he seems to go good for me.
Yeah, you've ridden on the track today. The winners seemingly are coming down the outside, but the races have certainly been truly run.
Yeah, they've all been run at a very fast pace, and it makes it look like the track's is better out wider, but it's in the straight it's very even. I think it's just the fast pace, and the horse is getting back and relaxing and getting home good.
Where do you see Bold Juggler settling in this race?
I'd like to be settling 6th or 7th.
And steaming over the top of them at the end.
That's right.
Now, Bernadette's here today. Bernadette is one of your sisters, and Bernadette rides in Adelaide. You wouldn't get to see Bernadette too often.
Not very often, but she does a fair bit of travelling. She comes over across the border a fair bit, so we do see a bit of her.
Now, you were telling me just a moment ago that of all the Payne jockeys, there's one more to come.
One more, Michelle. She's very keen. I think she's 11, and she sits on really nice.
Yeah. Is she going to be tall?
No, I don't think so. She's more of Teresa's build.
Now you're third in line, behind Bridget and also Therese, and after you comes
Bernadette,
followed by
Patrick, Margaret, who doesn't ride, and Andrew and Kathy.
Now Patrick has just returned from Hong Kong, and he went very well.
Yeah, very good. He equalled the record of winners for the amount of time he was there, so he's done a good job.
But you yourself have been going quite well. You're freelancing. Where are you mainly riding throughout the week? Have you found yourself improving in terms of the tracks you're getting rides at?
Yeah, I probably only get 1 or 2 rides in the provincials around Melbourne, but on the Fridays and Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, up around the country, I seem to get 5 or 6 rides there. So.
Now, there was a book made on the Payne family. How did that sell? How is it selling?
Really good. Yeah, there's a lot of interest in it.
And it's all, of course, for a very worthy cause.
Yes, that's right. Doxy, I think. That's for underprivileged.
Yeah.
Underprivileged kids.
They're still available, these books?
Yes, they are.
Read all about the Marie Payne story.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us today. Best of luck on Bold Juggler in the Cup.
Thanks very much.
Good on you. Therese Payne there with a very good ride. Bold Juggler, number 3 in the Healthy Diet Try at Mildura Gold Cup, Nick. And Marie is very confident, of course, that the horse can run the journey. Marie Payne on Sky Channel.
Yeah, there's plenty of Paynes in the racing industry, and Marie is certainly going to be giving Bold Juggler every chance to win that race this afternoon. Paddy, of course, just back from Hong Kong, did pretty well there. Andrew's riding very well. Bernadette's in this race. There's plenty of them. Race 6 at Berrigan. Let's take a look at the dividends. And the winner there, 3 Mr. Divine, 1 Red Troubadour and 2 Raptiga.
Is here as a special guest of the race club. He's conducting the Punters Club. The Punters Club are going well. They've got the first 2 legs of the quadrella up, but for those of you alive in the quaddie, you'll be glad to know that the Punters Club on track at Mildura are out because they missed the previous winner. They're going onto the track for the big one. Let's have a look at the market before we talk to Gary. And number 1 Into Musician at 7.20, 2 Arch of Colours 13, 3 Bold Juggler 4.70, 5 Archer Street 10, Sizzling Sam at 13, Neen Valley at 4.30, then $13 for Shattered Circle. Zoff Off is $8.90, Lavender Bird 35, the horse raced on Saturday. Shantyro is out, Set to Music 57, Blood Brother 25. The bottom, or numbers 13, 14, 15, all prepared by John Letts. Blood Brother ran 3rd in this race last year, was hitting the line hard. Almighty Halo 38, Silent Flow big, as is Recommittal. Well, Gary Willits joins us now on Sky Channel. Gary, of course, came to prominence in the middle 70s. In 1974, he arrived in Australia from New Zealand, more or less with Midge Didham leading the charge of New Zealand jockeys, setting the way for jockeys in the modern era. And the very first horse that he won on was Battle Heights, and it won some great races, and it all went from there. Gary, a fantastic riding career, but it was cut short, unfortunately.
Yes, it was, but, oh, well, you know, I had a great career, and I can't cry over that, and I reckon for 33 years I just got paid doing something I love doing, and it's been great. You
speak of cutting short your career, you broke a couple of both wrists, I believe, and then you couldn't get movement in one arm. But there's some very great memories along the way with horses like Manicato. 29 wins. You rode him in 25 races.
Yeah, yeah, it was incredible. Like he was an absolute champion, and they compare horses with him. But I just think you can't compare a horse with him. He was just an out-and-out champion.
With the races that he won, what sort of prize money would he won today had he been racing?
Well, they reckon they were working it out that it'd be close to 10 million. I was just born too soon.
Absolutely. One other great horse that he did ride, you had a very high regard for, ran favourite in a Golden Slipper, was Lover Show.
Yeah, she was a great filly, and unfortunately I won the Blue Diamond on her. And coming up to the Golden Slipper, there was something wrong with her, and we just couldn't put our finger on it. And every morning I'd be walking out in front of Bob Hoyce, and he'd say, look, she's sweating around the flanks. Couldn't find it in the slipper. Had a beautiful run, but she just didn't accelerate like she normally does. And that night she died. She had a bowel, instead of being so thick all the way down, all the food was compacting, and I think it's peritonitis got in and just killed her. And
infection all over her body.
I just don't know how good she was. And the other great one I rode was Rosa Kingston. You know, she was a super filly. She won that AJC Derby and beat horses like Al Cavalier, and Gurner's Lane was struggling in a wake. And the next morning a bloke hit her with a motorbike, and I just couldn't believe that.
No.
Because she was honestly a jockey's dream to ride. You could just jump her out of the barrier, let her run along and just go, woo Rosie, she'd drop the bit, come back under you, a run would come and away she'd go.
Great memories. 983 winners. Disappointing no 1,000 winners?
Oh, no, 1,493.
1,493?
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. You know, because I kept saying around, if I get to 1,500 here, I'll stop. But she reckons that the only way I stopped was because of my arm. So I suppose, you know, you can't see at the time, but I certainly wasn't bouncing as good as what I was when I was 25.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the Cup, Gary. You've invested on this race for the Punters Club. What took your eye in the yard?
Well, I still like the top weight into Magician. I think he's going to be very hard to beat. I think they're going to really run along in this race, and he'll be very hard to beat. Nean Valley, I think you can forget its last run at Flemington, because that track there was just terrible. I don't know, it just didn't seem to suit a lot of horses, and I think you can forget its run. And the other one I thought was Bold Juggler. I thought, you know, he can run some good races. He's run some good races when I've seen him in Melbourne in the city, and he could be very hard to beat. But I'll stick with number one.
What about the 62, though, Gary? Gee, it's a big weight for 2,000 metres.
It is a very big weight, but I just wonder if the class of horse under him, you know, they might even be a bit close to him with 62. So I think if they go along and he gets a nice clear run, he'll be very hard to beat.
Now, just briefly, Gary, give yourself a plug here. The hotel industry are heavily involved.
Yes, it's going very well. We've got the Bull and Bear Tavern in the city and Flinders Lane, and the Dingley International, they're going well. And I don't know how I missed that Chesto in the last race, you know, for the Punters Club, but at least we've got $10 worth of double going with 6 horses here, so they'll get a return.
You're doing well, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. A pleasure.
Good on you. Gary Willetts there, legendary jockey and head of the Punters Club at Mildura today. They're moving in well here, Nick, so we might use this opportunity to take you to Brian Blackmore. The market is coming on screen. Here's Brian.
Moving in. Bold Juggler, the favourite on Super Tab now. At $5 each way odds the field. As we have 6 of the runners in. Previous race saw a blowout for most punters on track here when Chesko got up in the last stride to defeat the second favourite Mozart Smith. And it so has made this quaddie well worth getting now today. Now, any musician is ready. Bold Juggler set. Recommittal standing up in barrier 1, just rearing. Tendon going in to help there. Arch of Colours now moves in. Yes, this massive crowd here today. Most of them, and it was gratifying to see the big screen here had a tribute to Bill Collins up just prior to the running of this race. That went for some, I suppose, 10 minutes. A magnificent tribute it was too, and most people stood and watched it. It really was. It was heartening. Now, Sizzling Sam coming in. Now, Sizzling Sam moving up. Now, Sizzling Sam to come in here. Letsy's trio still to move in. Set the music. Almighty Halo, Blood Brother. Drawn, obviously didn't sling the man who does the